Next, we have Marilena Paraskevopoulou presenting Nothing is Done Alone.
When I walked into my first period class, I could already tell how this teacher was going to be. Papers covered the walls. Newspaper clippings, drawings, posters, all taped and stuck. Shelves were filled with trinkets and knickknacks that held more value than they would weigh, sitting in the palm of your hand. Mr. Welsh spoke with a passion that drew something out of you too. He made me love to learn. American history, all the way from the French fur traders to the Civil War. I listened and I loved it. Now, I've always loved school. Or more specifically, I've always loved to learn. There was a point in time where I almost fell out of love with learning. In the second grade during the COVID lockdown. My teacher wasn't the best, and I soon decided that I wanted to try learning on my own. However, there was one small issue. I discovered that learning on your own is virtually impossible. Not because of the quarantine restrictions, or because I wasn't smart enough, but because nothing is ever truly done alone. This year, I learned how everything we learn from each other. One person's discovery that could seem so meaningless could ripple into an idea that makes everything that stuck us click. I hadn't realized how fundamental that concept was until now. Back in December and January, I participated in 3 after-school science activities run by Ms. Travai. She's the science supervisor at Summit High School and also runs a club and teaches a class there too. She brought her club in, the Summit High School Biotechnology Club. She teaches about DNA and how it is used in scientific research. Each session, the high schoolers would come in and they would help and guide us through all these different experiments. What I was learning from those sessions wasn't just from the high schoolers. It was also from Ms. Travai's lessons, from the people that taught her, and then to go even further, from the way that their life played out, because what we learn is also shaped by our experiences. We can never fully make a new discovery because nothing is ever truly done alone. You never do anything alone, even if you are physically by yourself. So, in my talk today, I will tell you how this phenomenon of learning happens every day. I will share with you some ways we've been able to do this globally, and I will help you understand the reason why it is so important that you share what you know with another person. Every day, just by walking into school or work, you will leave with a piece of information you hadn't had before. Remember Mr. Welsh? Well, anyone who has ever in Mr. Welsh's 7th grade social studies class has had a Harkness conversation. A Harkness conversation, created by philanthropist Edward Harkness in 1930 through a partnership with the Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire, is a collaborative student-led teaching method that allows students to learn from each other. It is usually set around an oval table, giving everyone equal access to the conversation. A teacher facilitates, adjusting the flow, selecting material, and observing to guide future learning, rather than driving the conversation. In the end, we build multiple ideas up, making them tower over us. These towers are set on the foundation Mr. Welsh sets, but the rest is all ours. All of our individual ideas come together to form a multi-layered conversation. Harkness conversations give me a different perspective and allow me to absorb the material even more than before. All of our ideas that seemed so small and insignificant before rippled into something bigger. Something that opened my eyes to this ripple was the SMART program at Rutgers. SMART stands for Science, Medicine, and Related Topics. It was admissions-based, and I can still remember how happy I was when I got in. It ran every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. For the first hour, we would be in a group session, and someone would come in and present about their profession and their path to who they were now. Most of these sessions were online, but 2 of them were in person at Rutgers Medical School in Newark. I had this TA named Shreya. She was a first-year medical student at Rutgers. She was for sure the sweetest person I had met while in the program. On one of the days that we'd gone into Rutgers, we'd been looking at donor bodies when she pulled a couple others and me over to look at a specific one. We had been looking at the chest cavity with most muscles and organs removed when she noticed that a lot of us were asking about the digestive system. She pulled us over and she showed us the digestive system. This is for sure the most vivid memory I have from the program. She pulled at the large intestine, almost unraveling it to show us. Without Shreya's intervention, we wouldn't have seen what we had seen that day. I wouldn't have ever even participated in the SMART program without the people that helped me draft and revise my short answer responses. I wouldn't have written a word on the blank document without my mom helping me organize my ideas and letting me talk with her about it. I wouldn't have ever felt confident enough to submit my application without Miss Stout, Miss Sweeney, and Miss Finnegan. If I hadn't been helped, then I wouldn't have ever participated in the SMART program, and then I won't be here today talking to you about this. Isn't it crazy how stuff like that caused more change than people can even see? Even though I was the one writing and submitting the applications, I never would have gotten there without the people that had helped me. While I love science, my love to learn stretches even farther than that. I also do competitive gymnastics. A big part of my life has pretty much always been gymnastics, and with that comes my coaches. Back when I was still in rec classes, I had this coach named Miss Dana. She was wonderful. She believed in me and she led me all the way through rec classes till I was on team and she had to retire. When I look back on it now, I never realized how much her teaching style affected me and still affects me to this very day, in both school and gymnastics. She taught me how to apply what I'd been taught in a previous situation to a new one. Instead of immediately telling me what I'd been doing wrong and how to fix it, she would instead let me figure it out on my own and then help me figure out how to solve the issue that I had seen. It is now one of my most valuable skills, and I never would have built it without her intervention. While she didn't necessarily pass the information directly to me, she instead passed on her love of gymnastics and the mechanics of it too. This inherited love of gymnastics didn't die out when Miss Dana retired. My current coach, Anthony, now uses his own experiences as a gymnast to help guide me and now pushes me to be even better than before. Our world is supported by what we learn. We never would have landed on the moon if we never learned that the Earth was round. We never would have built computers if we never built the loom. We wouldn't be anywhere if we hadn't learned from the things around us. Now, in our digitalized society, we can collaborate in science to an even bigger level. Imagine being able to have all the information you can need right at your fingertips. Information discovered by scientists and checked by professionals, including every single detail. Except you don't have to imagine. That is the magic of peer-reviewed journals. Instead of having to research every little minute detail and double-check every little thing, you can instead use another scientist's research to help power your own. Peer-reviewed journals are just one way we've been able to do this. Doing this allows knowledge to build and makes it become common knowledge. The World Wide Web, whether you know Safari or Chrome or Google, reaches around 74% of our world. Everyone can learn from the internet. Anyone can share information on the internet. Just by typing in a couple of keywords, you get a plethora of information and sources. Doing this doesn't only affect one person, it affects our ability to progress as a whole. idea could cause something life-changing. And if that original piece of knowledge is never shared, then we can never achieve anything as a whole. What I learned from Harkness Conversations, the Biotech Club, and from the SMART program all taught me a lot. But one thing that will always stick with me though, is that learning is more than just learning alone or with a textbook. It's about learning from things that people discovered months ago or centuries ago, and even before anyone even thought about it. Nothing can be done alone. Nothing has ever been done alone. Only with each other can we improve. Thank you.